So today I am feeling very, very depressed because I'm trying to look for evidence that people are going to talk to me about my religion this year, and I'm not seeing anything. Everything online is there's some rapture believers that are trying to give me hope, but they're also going on about how Israel is 77 years old this year, and something's got to happen. I mean, it's got to happen before Israel's 80 and stuff, and I'm just thinking, I'm Israel. I don't give a shit what you think because you're wrong about everything, and they're going on about how, God won't hurt his people, God will come back for us. And it's just like, I will hurt your people because you are not my people, and I don't give a shit about you because you don't give a shit about me. I'm posting in your comments, I'm telling you that I'm God, you're not reading your comments, or you're not reading my comments, and you're just ignoring me, and it's really, really, really frustrating because to think that something's got to happen before I'm 80. Yeah, something's got to happen before I'm 80. Why? Because I'm going to be dead by then. And it's just, to think that I've been waiting so fucking long, and there are people that are just like, oh yeah, it's got to happen before she's 77. So what? You think I might have another 50 years to wait or something? I'm 38. I've got a long, long time before 77 hits, and it's just really, really frustrating. It's really frustrating. And I've written up a list of all the things, all the reasons why this curse might be lifted, and people might stop ignoring me. When I say people ignoring me, I'm talking about the people who believe that I'm God. I'm not talking about the maddos who are just mocking me or watch my videos for the sake of it. I'm talking about the people who actually believe that I'm God, and who know that there are thousands of people doing things about me behind my back whilst they ignore me. And it's really annoying because I don't know who knows. I don't know if the singers know or if it's just the people above them who know, but I've seen way too many coincidences for this to just be a coincidence. I've seen online about when did Jesus die. Now, I've typed in this thing many times, and it usually says between 27 AD and 33 or 34, sometimes 33 or 30. It's always said that between 27 and 30 and 34. I guess I was assuming that it could mean anything, but now it's specifically saying April 3rd, which is my birthday. So now it's making a point of saying that Jesus died on my birthday, and I don't know why it's been changed. It used to say earlier, and now it's definitely saying later. I don't know. I know that there's going to be a 7-year tribulation of me, and there's probably going to be a 7-year tribulation of AJ too. AJ is the real Jesus, so I need to meet him. I need to tell him that I'm Eve, and tell him that I'm not going to tell him I'm God, but the thing is, if I meet him with no help, no support, no backing, I'm going to say whatever I can to say to get him to believe. And if it comes into the conversation where I have to say that I'm God, because that's the only thing that makes sense as to why I know all this stuff, I might end up saying that. And I wanted to go to him and talk to him whilst being backed up and supported by people who have money, people who be like, okay, we are going to give you this £1 million contract, or £1 billion contract, I don't know, but there's a lot of talk about some £1 billion or something £1 billion arms deal, and arms is guns. I think it means guns, and yeah, I don't know what that's going on, but just because they make a deal this year, that doesn't mean anything's going to happen this year. I swear I've been seeing signs that there was deals being made last year and the year before, and I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a 2-state solution in Israel, because that's the sort of current situation that the world's in. You've got people following, the spirit of God, and then you've got people following the spirit of the inversion, which is the exact opposite of everything that I believe, and it is winding me up, seeing lots of things online where I'm just seeing Muslim women walking down the street. It's horrible. I would hate to be forced to wear all black with a tiny slit. That to me reminds me of female oppression and female, people getting rid of the female, not wanting the goddess, not wanting, that is what it reminds me of. And so to see it in England is just, it's horrible. if you like that, why? I don't understand. I can't understand your logic as to why you want that. And it's horrible because I am a female and I would not want to wear that. And therefore to see men forcing women to wear it, and women choosing to wear it as well. It's not just the about men forcing women to do it. No, women are choosing to wear it, and I believe the reason why they are choosing to wear it is because they want to get rid of me. They want me to leave. You know, if Earth was a giant beehive and humans were just bees, which is how I feel sometimes like they are, like just little robot bees that are just doing whatever they're doing, you know, there are always going to be some bees in the colony that think that the queen bee is not strong enough, and think that the queen bee needs to die. And Islam is, they, you know, by wanting, you know, God to wear me, I'm God, by God wanting to wear such a horrible garment, you know, it's the women saying, I don't want this God in my planet. I don't want this God in my beehive. This is not my queen bee. I want to dress in the way that God least likes, and that is what it is. And seeing women dressed up like black pine cones with a tiny slit for their eyes, you know, this is what I least want. This is the most disgusting. No. Female genitalia mutilation is the worst, but the second worst is forcing women to wear ridiculous clothes. They can't play sports, they can't work, there must be boiling hot in those outfits, and it's crazy. I see it as madness. And if you want to wear that, fine, but I see it as your spiritual attack on me. It's a personal attack on me, because that I am God, my spirit lies in all people, but I would not want to wear that. And so if you want me to wear that, then you are saying that I want to piss you off, and I want to anger you, and I want you to dress like me, because I know you hate this and I want to get rid of you. So, you know, I'm not just attacking the men who want women to wear that. I'm attacking the women who want to wear this, and it's inversion. You know, it's complete inversion, and it's I don't like looking at it, and therefore to know that it's coming to England, and might not even be coming to England. That's the thing. I'm watching loads of videos online. One of them would be like, oh yeah, everyone's falling away from Islam because, you know, they're saying that the Quran actually admits that the Bible is the truth. But if the Bible is the truth, then why isn't Jesus God? Because that's what the Bible says. So how can you worship a book that contradicts itself by agreeing with something and then disagreeing with it at the same time? And you know, if Muhammad is the final message, and yet Jesus is supposed to be like a blessed savior, why would the blessed savior become before the last prophet? That doesn't make any sense. And you know, it was almost like Muhammad came solely to prove that Jesus wasn't God. And but then again, why are they waiting for Jesus to return and not Muhammad to return? You know, they're asking all these questions. And so some of the videos that I'm watching are all about the fall away from Islam, and some of them are all about the rise of Islam and how it's spreading everywhere and stuff like this. And yeah, I hate the music. It just sounds like someone's dying. Like, it really does sound like someone's dying. And I'm just like, oh God, that's awful. It's awful. But yeah. So I don't know, but I'm looking at the signs of why people are gonna start talking to me this year, and I guess the only thing that makes me think it's gonna happen this year is that there are supposed to be arms deals going on, some sort of war deal. But yeah, does that mean it's gonna start this year, or does that mean it's gonna start next year? I don't know. Often when deals are made, there is a year wait before it actually takes off. And I know that I am going to be meeting with AJ Miller next week. But yeah, I would have preferred to have people talk to me and take me to him, and for me to tell him that I support him as the real Jesus. But you know, it's not about what he says or what he promotes. It's just giving people a choice. People shouldn't feel like they are forced to believe that I'm Christ, and therefore having a second Christ who's not actually Christ, but just claiming to be a sort of way to God through him, and then giving people an option between me and him. That gives people a choice, and Islam should always be a choice. Do you want me to dress like this, or do you want me to dress in black, fully black garment with a slit in my eye, looking, well, you won't be able to see me looking miserable. Why? Because you won't be able to see me. You'll probably see tears in my eyes, but you probably won't be able to see anything else. Do you want me looking like that? Well, if you can't actually see me, then maybe you won't actually know how I feel. Yes, I'm really angry. I do not like their garments at all. And if you want to insult me for it, well, I want to insult you for wanting me to be miserable, and that's just how it is. But yes, I have reasons though to think that it's not going to be this year. My reasons for thinking that it's not going to be this year is I have sort of reluctantly bought into 3 memberships. English Heritage is a charity, so I'm not going to bother with that one, or not going to care about that one. Like, if something does happen this year, then maybe I can still just go to, I would like to have like some sort of chauffeur, go to some nice places, maybe all around the world, yes, but in England maybe I could do that too. And then but I didn't need to get the, well, I don't know, and anyway, and I've got, what's the other one, signs. I'm not seeing anything. I don't know what I'd be expecting to see, but I think I would be expecting the singers to be doing something around making songs saying this is the year or something. I don't know. I would assume that the singers would be making something to suggest that it's going to be this year, and I'm not seeing them do anything. I'm seeing them all being silent. I don't know how many of them know about me, but I'm very angry with them because I've been seeing them do things for such a long time, and to think that they did all those songs that they did in 2013, 14, 15, 16, even 17 and 18 now. I'm angry with most of the songs that were done in 17 and 18 because I still had another 7 years, 8 years, 5 years, 4 years to go. And when I think about a lot of the singers, I do think that they were Dala's kids, but Dala never met them, and I just feel like in that same way that's how it's going to be in this life. I'm never going to meet them. And then I think, what about the ones that Dala did meet? And I don't really know who these are because I don't think they're singers. Most of the ones that Dala did actually meet, I don't feel like they are singers. I always felt something about Maya, like ever since I was like 12, or when I first saw her on the screen, there was always something about Maya that made me feel like I'd recognised her. So I noticed, I felt like there was something, and Mary J. Blige as well. Like if I was to guess what my past life would be and who I met, I probably would have said those two. Never followed Sierra, so I didn't see that one coming. But to be honest, I don't think Dala really liked her as a mum. I do think Anna Wintour though was a far more caring mum. I feel like the Sierra was more of a protective one, yes, but one that Dala didn't particularly like as much. So I think if I was to make a film, I would definitely have the Anna Wintour character, or she would be very different. She was very, very much more uninvolved, so she wouldn't be anything like her, but she would definitely be the one that looks after the baby. I would have her that. But anyway, going back to this list of why I don't think anything's going to happen this year. I do not want to be making this list because I wish it was happening this year. But I've also bought a bunch of fish food. They had like this. Usually I just pay £5 for something that lasts me 3 months. And then I noticed that they stopped selling that one, and they've selling the £7 one only. And yeah, I had the option between buying one £7 one, but they had this sort of buy 2 get a third one free. So now I've got enough fish food to last me till winter. And yeah, I felt like something like that when I've been having fish for 3 years and I've never seen this deal before, and now I saw it and I've ended up with enough fish food to keep me going till winter. So I feel like that's just a sign that maybe nothing's going to happen until next year. And I know Britney Spears was in a 13-year conservatorship, and if my tribulation started in 2013 and I've got 13 years, that means it's going to end in 2026. That doesn't mean it's ending this year. And the Israelis were set free on the 40th year of Israel being a nation, but I'm actually a person, not a nation. So if you're set free on the 40th year of Israel being a person, that's going to be in another 2 years. But like I said, I need a year to recover. So again, not pointing to anything happening this year, but rather things happening to next year. Which I wish wasn't the truth. And also next year, on my 39th birthday is Good Friday, and that is my birthday on Good Friday. And I just feel like the day I find good, I think it's called Good Friday because I'm looking forward to the day that Jesus dies, because I'm so angry at the average person for rejecting me, for ignoring me, for treating me like I don't exist. And they say the whole as above, as below, and I think what's happened to me and the curse that I'm living under, the fact that I could talk to doctors about how I'm Christ, show them a bunch of evidence, and then just have them not care. And the reason why I'm in this situation where I can't walk into a church and tell people that I'm God, that because they'll just reject it. Oh, you're not Jesus. Oh, okay. And then we'll have to ask you to leave now. That's probably what I get. I don't know how they would respond, because I want to go in there with a camera and I want to film how they respond. And I've actually bought a little £6 camera this week. Just now I bought it, so it will arrive in a few days. I really want to just go in there and say I'm God. I don't know if this little camera thing will work, because it's supposed to be working on the Wi-Fi, and if I just go into a church I'm not going to be able to have Wi-Fi. So I don't know if there's a little card slot where you can put your card in and maybe press record, and maybe it records straight onto the card. I don't know, but I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work, then I might just bring my massive camera and find a way of hiding it without them knowing, which is going to be hard because it's a bigger one. But I don't know. I really want it to be done by like a group of people, or just a small group of people filming from a back room. Putting the cameras on me, and then having them set up with the connection and the recording to make sure that they've got it. That's how I want it to be. And I want to show myself walking into churches and saying, hi, I'm God, and just filming their reaction, filming how they would reject me. People who worship Christ have rejected the real Christ because they accept the false Christ. Now, if I tell them that they're worshipping a false Christ, how are they going to react? I think their ego is going to get to them, and they don't want to believe that they've been worshipping the Antichrist all their life, so that I think they're going to respond very badly. Is that the truth? I don't know, but I know that I've tried it a few times at the beginning, and I don't feel like I should try it. I feel like I need to wait until the people that know about me come and talk to me, but and I bought loads of these like 2 years ago, like vitamin C pills, and the expiry date went like a year ago. That's why they were cheap, and I've still got them, but I've still got another like 7 or 8 of these left, and each one takes me about a month, because there's 30 pills or 20 pills in each one, and I don't eat them very regularly. It's taking me about a month to get rid of them, so I might still have another 6 months worth. Of pills to use up, and I always kind of felt like when I got them that I would have that maybe I thought I'd have a few left actually. I thought, because I bought so many of them, I bought loads and loads of them, I was convinced that by the time people come and talk to me, I'll still have loads, and when I go travelling when I travel around the world and just have a holiday, I'd be able to take these with me. But yeah, I've got 6 packs left, and I don't know. Maybe that's not a sign then that nothing's going to happen, because maybe something is going to happen and I've got 6 months left to use them. But I don't know. Technically, I'm hoping for a little bit more than gone off pills. But yeah, when I run out of them, I'm thinking of switching to rat poison. Like literally, I'm going to switch to rat poison. If you think eating gone off vitamin C pills is bad, I think rat poison is worse. And I'm going to switch to rat poison if no one's coming to me. My friend has also bought me a £200 Hoover, and I do feel like he's spiritually linked to something, and I kept being like, no, something's going to happen this year, so I don't want to buy a new Hoover. My old one, still works okay. The clip keeps breaking, and it doesn't have a good suction, but it works enough for me to think I have enough, but yeah, the fact that he did buy me a Hoover, I feel like maybe he did that because he knows spiritually that nothing is going to happen this year, but then he doesn't think that anything is going to happen this year. He's talking about when his parents die, maybe I can move in and live with him in his house, because he has a really nice house and a really nice garden, and I'm a bit messy, but I will feel motivated to be tidy when I'm around him. I feel like partly the reason why I'm messy is because I just don't have the energy to get out of bed, and I'm just very, very suicidal. And I know he's suicidal, but I know that his only reason for living is if his parents are alive, and because his parents give him a reason to live. So when his parents die, he's going to lose all reason to live, and hence he probably would do with a friend living in his house, and yes, that would be a nice thing, but I want to hang around people who believe that I'm God, and people who know that I'm God, and not have to constantly feel rejected and broke and stuff. And I am struggling with money because I'm running out fast, and I bidded for a fish tank last week, and I thought I didn't win it. And then it turned out that I did win it. It was £50 plus $17 for postage. And then when I realised that the hamster cage that I bought, actually, they seem very happy in this hamster cage. When I did that, I was like, oh no, I've just spent £67 on something I can't really afford. And yeah, my bank went into the minus figures for a short time, and then I managed to transfer. I've got another 500 in my ISA. But yeah, because I'm only living off my rent money, I have to wait another 3 months. I have to wait another 2 months before I can take another 1,000 out of that account, and therefore I'm basically going to have to live off £500 for the next 3 months, which is easy, but it's not easy when you've got a gym membership that's £45, and what's it, Virgin Active that's 30 now, but it's only 30 because I've signed up to a 2-year agreement. That means that if you do come in 2 months' time, that I'm going to have to pay £800 or £700 to cancel that thing. So that would be really annoying. I don't mind having to pay 300 like a year's worth to cancel something, but to have to pay 2 years worth just to cancel something, I know I'm getting it at a deal, and you're supposed, part of the deal is a bit of a gamble, but I think, I don't know, to be on something for 8 years and to force people to have to pay £700 to cancel the deal, I just think that's pretty wrong. But yeah, that's another reason why nothing's going to happen this year, and I'm looking at all the signs as to why something is going to happen this year, and something's going on with Israel, but their inversion. If they're doing something to convince me that something's going to happen this year, I really should not listen to that. That would be like listening to Katy Perry and believing that, wow, she's Katy Perry is a deceiver. And any evidence that I find through Katy Perry about the year, about the rapture happening this year, I know to not believe it, because she is the deceiver, and that is what the deceiver does. And Islam is inversion. So I just don't know what to think, but I'm the only thing that I'm putting hope into is the fact that I'm going to meet AJ Miller next year, and I'm hoping that someone will talk to me beforehand, or maybe you'll wait till I actually go and visit him and then surprise me. Yay! We know that you're God, and we're going to talk to you. And I don't know. I'm definitely struggling with money, and the idea of having to go another year. It's awful. I'm putting pause on my gym membership for June and July, because that will save me. I have to pay £10 if I put it on pause, whereas I have to pay £45 if I don't. So I'm going to save myself £80 or 70 quid for not having a gym membership for 2 months, and then hopefully by next Christmas I will still have £1,000 to go on a holiday somewhere, because I can't spend Christmas in England. England is way too cold, way too depressing, and yeah, I've signed up to see if I can get some sort of benefit claim, but the person who I've signed up, well, he said they said they'll contact me about the benefit claim to see if I can get benefits based on the fact that I'm not well enough to work. I'm not well enough to work. My view on humans is just disgusting. So the thought of having to go back to massage and just massage a bunch of people that don't give a shit about me, whilst knowing that I'm God, whilst knowing that millions of people are making millions of money, millions of pounds out of me because I'm the real Christ, and they're worshipping the Antichrist, and they're just making money out of lying about me, basically. And yeah, to think that, there's so many people making money out of my inspiration, my songs, that they're living in nice houses, nice homes, whilst I'm I don't know, struggling, living off £500 for 3 months, and I've got to include bills with that and everything, and it's just, I can't stand this. I do have the other option, because I have 18,000 in a save to buy account, and I have the option of trying to put planning permission, because my sister, in the house that me and my sister share, we've got a really big front garden, so we could get in planning permission to put a one bed flat in the front area, and I don't have enough for the build, but because I only in half the house, I could put my 18,000, and Sophie could put 18,000 in, and then we do have enough money to have a build, and therefore I'll still own 50% of the house, but we will have like a second 1 bedroom flat to rent out. We can probably make 500 a month from that. So then I'll be making 450 from the main house, and then I'll be making 250 from the second place that we're selling at. So that's an option, but it's not an easy option, because it involves working with builders and making sure that they get the work done. And I will not be going for the last builder last time. The last builder, he was good, but he kept demanding the money first, and that was just a massive stress, because every time I gave him £2,000, I was worried to buy the materials. I was worried that he was just going to run off and not pay, and he basically did do that. He took £5,000. The build was supposed to be £11,000, and he managed to get 2,000 off me for the dig. And then he said that he needed to buy the bricks, and then he said he was going to buy the wrong colour, and then I ended up buying the bricks myself. But then he said that he needed another £3,000 to buy the to put the cement in. So I gave him another £3,000, and then he basically turned around and said that we're not going to do anything more unless we agree to have a higher price. So he'd taken £5,000, just dug a massive hole in my garden, and was about to run off with £5,000, and I agreed to have to go up to 18,000, because that was the only way to get him to continue. So because of that, I was very skeptical about giving him money, because I thought he might just run off. So it was a very stressful thing, and I do not want to be putting myself in that sort of stressful situation again. It's all fine for my sister, because she does nothing. If this build happens, it's going to be me that does all the work, and she's just going to be like, yeah, that's fine, and she's not actually going to realise the amount of stress that I go through when you give thousands of pounds to builders who might just run off. And the builder did even run off at the end. There was about £300 worth of work left to do, so I refused to give him that £300. And then an electrician came saying that he hadn't been paid, so I needed to give him the £300, and yeah, that was it. He ran off, and there was still £300 left of work to do, and I got someone else to do it for £300, or so it was fine. It was finished, but he also didn't finish the floor properly. He should have put another gloss layer. He should have put another layer down to even up the floor, because the floor was a bit uneven. So, but yeah. Whatever, you learn from mistakes and stuff, but yeah, the idea of having to build this house just so I can make an extra £250 a month, it feels so stressful, considering how tired I feel. I feel tired all the time. I feel like just drained all the time, depressed. I don't want to be here. I don't like people. I don't like the world. I don't like this. I feel like a prisoner here, and I feel like just everyone gets benefits here. The idea that Muslims can come from another country, come here, and then say I can't work because of my religion, and get free housing, free benefits, free everything is just so fucking annoying, because these are people that hate me. These are people that want me to be banished from the world. These are people who want me to dress in disgusting clothing, and they think it's nice. I don't know what they're thinking, but to me it's madness. And the idea that the government is supporting them and giving them benefits and free stuff, when all they do is just birth kids, which is that's the last thing that I want, because there's way too many people on earth. This world is killing me because there's too many people that are sucking off my spirit, and it's draining me, and it's making me feel tired and exhausted, and I hate them. It's like I'm like a bee being forced to have way more kids than she knows that she can look after, or she knows that the colony could look after. And these people just don't care because they're inverted, and they want to kill me, and that's how I feel. And then to think that the government is helping them and not me, I think if I could get some sort of benefit claim from the government, then I'd feel less angry at them for just helping people to kill me. That's how it is. And I generally believe that this world just wants to kill me, and I don't even think that I care, because I don't want to live here. I'm going to kill me too if you don't. As soon as these pills run out, I'm going to switch to rat poison, because I just don't want to be here.